evening. Wherever you're watching Wisdom Television and wherever you are in this part of the world, you are welcome to another edition of News Review on WYTV. My name remains the same, Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidon J. That is if you want to call me that. Alright, I'm not the only one in the studio today. I have in the studio with me
Toyosi Adeshino.
Yeah, Toyosi is looking beautiful this morning. Although it's official today, but you know, when it comes to news review, you know, we do tell our people to keep following us because this is where they can get the real
up-to-date information.
I'm telling you.
Entertainment, politics, business.
Yes, and you know how we do it on news review. We talk about the headlines, the stories that made up the what is on your own mind
part
too.
Of the conversation.
Exactly. And don't forget that the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Herbals. So I know people actually know about Nokpa. So it's just for you to take it as your everyday routine, because if it's not Nokpa, it's not Nokpa. Alright, let's kick it off. On Vanguard newspaper today, Tet Fund spent 40 billion naira in 6 institutions in Borno State. Committee. Subsidy is gone. Nigerians, economy also going, but that but I don't know. We don't condone attacks on Muslims. Ogun League of Imam Afars. NLC Sean's meeting with federal government begins 2-day warning strike. Then on Punch newspaper, judiciary shouldn't determine election winners, but the judge. Tinubu expected to speak at African Climate Summit. Oshun disowns federal government appointee direct probe. Then on the Nation's newspaper, actress Eniola Badman flaunts stunning pictures at her birthday. Rapper Black Bones reacts as fans tattoos name on arm. Voila. History as Metro Line train takes off in Lagos. Then on this day newspaper, Sanusi, how Buhari mismanaged Nigeria's economy in 8 years.
Okay. Subsidy.
NLC Sean federal government's peace talks insist on strike. New Naseni boss assumes offices, vows to deploy tech in driving Tinubu's agenda. Then on Daily Trust, Tinubu confident about tribunal judgment at jury Ngelale. Then still on Daily Trust newspaper, PSC unveils 11-man board members to recruit police officers. We are in Nigeria to contribute to economic growth, Zibruse Group. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. And we are going on a short commercial break. And when we're back, we do justice to some of the headlines. So don't go nowhere. Stay tuned as we go on a short commercial break.
For management of.
You welcome back from that short commercial. This thing behind the subsidy removal is to make everything easy for Nigerians. Yeah. But I don't know, after the removal of the subsidy, why?
It's because the right things has not been put in places. That's why we are still facing this hardship.
Well, the story was subsidy is gone. Nigerians' economy is also going. But that bet is what I don't understand. Seriously, the poor are not breathing. But we
Yeah.
don't need to see it like that because the president was actually saying it like, if Nigeria is going to be better, some people will have to suffer for it. But I don't pray to suffer.
But that's some people, like, it means all Nigerians are suffering for it already.
I'm telling you, even the rich are shouting. It's not only the poor that is not breathing, the
Sure.
rich too are
It's
not.
affecting everybody. So far you are in Nigeria, you'll be affected in one way or the other.
Well, there are indications that the rise in the crude oil prices by 7.5% to $85.89 per barrel in August 2023 from its $79.92 per barrel in July 2023. Depreciation of the naira to $775 currently standing in the official market, and inflation is currently standing at 22.79% have combined to increase the landing cost of petrol to 600 naira per litre in the domestic market. Wow. The industry analysis obtained by Vanguard that confirmed the development is exclusive of additional costs, including the port-related charges, transportation, and marketers' margin, which would combine to bring delivery at filling stations to more than 700 naira per litre. Now, I want to say this. Okay. If the dollar is affecting our petrol, you know, there was a man that come up on board, like on an interview. He said, all the 55 countries that made up Africa, they should come together and we should be just a country. Like, we should not have more countries in Africa. All of us should come together and be just one country, and we should be sharing one currency.
Do you think that is going to work?
Yes.
With this issue of military men taking over.
Yeah, it is because I think they've reasoned this before. This even as it is, it can still work out. Because what the man is trying to say is, we hiding under the value of dollar is getting too much. If dollar should rise, it will affect us. What is our own with dollar, for God's sake?
The general overseer of RCCG yesterday,
yes.
Like, I saw the news, which he says we should not worry, Nigeria should not worry. Like, the naira is going to regain its value again. You know, it's going to supersede dollar.
There's an there's an artist, an hip hop that says they play. The landing cost for September 2020 is expected to rise further as the factors that propel the rise in August figured have worsened. Now, we are buying it 700 naira per litre. In some places, they sell it 650, 680, 690 something. But do you know that?
And that's because it has even reduced. Because before, some people used to buy it 850, 800.
That is what they are saying now. This new month that we are just in this September, there will be rise in the amount of the sell petrol, which is not going to be okay. For yesterday, we were talking about sharing corn. That people are actually selling corn. If you want to buy corn now, they will cut it into two for you. Instead of you buying one stick.
Are they also using fuel to do corn?
No, everything happens, interwovenly, because if a farmer is going to the farm to get to buy corn, the sellers are going to the farm to buy from farmers. They will use car to bring it back to the city, you understand? So if the cars are using fuel too, you understand? So the cost of transportation to bring the goods to the market is worse, you understand? So they don't have choice. Even the charcoal they are buying is the same thing. The charcoal they use in burning the corn. So we are not even talking about that. Anytime petrol price rises, it will affect every other thing.
Every sector.
So I don't know what we are going to do about this. And our president is telling us that we should be calm, that things are getting better for the future, not for now.
We are being calm, just that it should help us to tackle it on time, so that many Nigerians will not lose their lives at the process.
They are losing their lives already.
They are losing. Because
if there is no food to eat, that's where you will see some people gathering and doing all these bandits and all, kidnapping up and down, you understand? So if there is no food, there will be insecurity.
And those kidnappers, now that's what they do. They will kidnap for ransom.
I'm telling you.
Because there is no other way.
If anybody should kidnap me now, I don't know. I will just suffer for there.
You know you have stamina, so they will think you are a big man.
Okay. Kidnap me. All right then. In a mail response to Vanguard inquiries, the business development manager, Argos West Africa, Fumi Basharun, stated, indeed, high crude prices and continuous depreciation of the naira pose as deterrents to the effectiveness of deregulation and active participation by more marketers. Like they said now, marketers are even scared to buy fuel, to buy petrol.
Because they don't know the cost they will sell it out to.
I had a speech with a man yesterday. We had a little talk, and the man was telling me that he works with one filling station. That before they used to take one tank of petrol, like a tanker. They used to take the petrol from depot for like let's say 28 million, but now they've increased it to like 80 million.
Imagine 28 to.
Now even some filling stations are complaining that they are not selling like before again. Because if you check the main road,
there will be less patronage, sure.
If you check main road, you will see that people cars are not many on the roads again. I don't know why. People are now going to the extent of buying bicycle for subsidy. But then it is.
Despite the fact that this fuel is kind of cost, you cannot go to Lagos and still not experience traffic.
I'm telling you. But no.
That state there.
I went to Lagos. I went to Lagos Island.
Okay.
I get to see that if not for the road that they are mending. Okay. If you go to Ajah now, Ajah to Lekki, they are amending the road. So that is the reason why there is much odor. If they should finish that road, because there is not much count. I know what I'm saying. People, even Tomiland Bridge, I used to be, bombarded with cars. These days, it's just free. You understand? So this thing is really affecting our economy, and it's getting worse day by day.
It's getting worse, sir.
I don't see any reason for our government not to come up with good things, because the palliative they say they want to use to support the subsidy removal. We didn't see any. Have you taken any palliative?
No.
I don't know. Yeah. Who are those people collecting the palliative?
I've not gotten anything.
I'm telling you, and we are seeing it on the news that they are sharing it. Where are they sharing it? We don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be dropped on our doorway, so that as we are coming from work, you just see one bag of rice.
Nigerians are many, so it cannot circulate.
Really?
It can't circulate.
Well, however, while NNPC Limited, the major marketers continue to sell the product at 568 naira per litre, their independent counterparts retail at higher prices ranging between 570 naira and 700 naira per litre in different parts of the nation, depending on location. So for you to buy fair now, it depends on the location you are. Wahala. So people that stays in these big places, they buy it in high prices, and for those of you that stay in a rural environment, you buy it in low prices. I don't know. So if people from trenches now, they are enjoying fuel. I don't understand the fuel price. The National Operations Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mike Osatuyi, who confirmed the developments in a telephone interview, said, under the current government, the regulation policies, marketers are free to sell at different prices depending on their costs.
Wow.
Is that a good speech?
So they can't agree to a fixed price that, okay, this is the amount we are going to be selling it out to, like general price. Understand. They can't agree to that.
Even if they agree on it, you will see some people that will still come out like, hey, don't let us do it like that. This Nigeria, there is no one mouth. There's no oneness in Nigeria. When it comes to making money, you will see people want to do jagaban that it is my own this thing that will come up first. But I don't know. There should be.
They will be after their own pockets. So that what's going to be their gain?
Exactly. So there should be. Federal government should just come in. There should be a fixed agreement, a fixed amount for every marketer or anybody that is trying to buy to resell, so that it can be balanced.
It should be a general accepted price.
I don't know, but one thing about this subsidy that I don't understand is that since the removal, I can't lie to you, everything has been getting worse and worse. From foodstuffs to living cost to what was it called to even our shelter. If you see the amount landlords and landladies are collecting for rent now, you go see na fuel we dey use the entire house. You don't understand, like
those items that they are not using cars to ship it, they will still tell you that the price has changed, has increased. So that's the country we are. Like, we people will make it harder on ourselves.
Our federal government should please do something on this, because since our president emerged as the new president, we've not seen any changes so far, and it's getting to 6 months now.
We are seeing the changes now.
Which changes?
The removal of fuel subsidy also is part of it.
Wow.
It's a change now.
Okay, change.
They are saying it.
They've
not worked on it, that they will renovate the refineries, which they haven't done. So
we are
being optimistic that very soon they are going to.
Okay, I think they are trying to counter all this. What's it called? This unofficial refineries that is in this Niger Delta, the one that they are trying to collect from all these militants, that they are trying to create their own refinery, local refineries. But I think even if they destroy all these refineries? When are they going to start using our own? When are they going to renovate the ones they said they would? We don't know yet. Because all these our government officials, most of them, they have refineries abroad. Though.
Sure. Because
they know what they do. They transport our crude oil down to another country to refine them and bring it back to Nigeria. What kind of scope is that? Well, let's move on. The next one we are going to be talking about is this NLC thing. They are already on a 2-day warning strike.
Yes.
You know, we said it yesterday that why warning? Why don't they go on a normal strike? Indefinite strike.
To me, it's kind of, they are doing child play with the federal government.
Oh, they play. The federal government did not even have time.
It's not even looking at their side at all.
NLC Sean's meeting with federal government begins 2-day warning strike. Lagos, the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC will today begin a 2-day warning strike after shunning a meeting with the federal government over increasing hardship and suffering across the country caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. Still on the fuel subsidy. Now, NLC, my own advice, you know, you guys are the body that is, you know, very close to the government. When it comes to, you know, the Yoruba, we call them Ajajagbara. Ajijagbara. Now, if you're trying to go on strike, please go on a normal strike. Go on an indefinite strike. Let the federal government knows that you are serious about all this warning strike that you are going cannot help. You've went on different warning strike and there is no good results, no positive results. Please go on a strike that the federal government will be scared. At least you know when ASU went on strike. They went on almost a year, 8 months strike. And when the government see that...
And after that 8-month strike, what came out of it? At
least there was changes. There was an agreement. You understand? So I think...
But the agreement has not been fulfilled yet.
Either being fulfilled or not. ASU knows what they are doing. They know what's up. You understand?
Yeah,
so
right.
If NLC2 can adopt this, I think there will be changes. So still talking about it. Labour, this came as the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, yesterday warned the strike will worsen the plight of ordinary Nigerians and urged NLC to shelve the actions. Okay, I think they are making sense here. Okay. The NLC had on Friday given notice of a 2-day warning strike to protest the creating a mass suffering and impoverishment experience around the country, threatening a total and indefinite shutdown of the economy within 14 working days or 21 days after the warning strike, if government did not take steps to address the hardship experienced across the country. This is what we are talking about. They are already giving us 2 days warning now. That after this 2-day warning, they are going on what? An indefinite strike of like 21 days or 14 working days. So I think this is good. But this is my own point. Now, if you go on strike, NLC, you know it's going to affect a lot of things.
Even it is affecting everybody already.
All right, but let us...
Financial institutions like banks, they've joined them too.
Wow.
So people were trying to do transactions today, they could not even access
the network. But network has nothing to do with this. Network has nothing to do with strike. Even if they go on strike, they should not stop that because there is no way we are not going to do transaction. At least we will eat, we will buy food. That doesn't mean that they should go on strike. People that are working on that, the government workers, the government officials can go on strike. Are you getting it now? The NLC should try and do something, and the TUC, they can join them. But you know, you see all these our petty way shops and all. Please don't go on strike. Hunger will just kill everybody, you understand? But then it's a good thing for you to go on an indefinite strike so as to fasten the good things the government are supposed to do for the citizens. But people are actually wailing and shouting that the money we are using to buy food these days, hey!
Even if you want to take Gary these days, you'll be spending like
I'm telling you, Gary is a golden food to Nigeria.
Seriously.
If you want to eat Gary in your house, you have to know what you are doing. It is before that you can just drink Gary anyhow. Some of us then back then would even drink the Gary and drop it. But these days, if you drop Gary without drinking it finish, well, that is that about that. But still on the NLC, while briefing on Friday after its next meeting, NLC President Joe Ajaero said NEC in session of NLC resolved to embark on a total and indefinite shutdown of the nation within 14 working days or 21 days from today until steps are taken by the government to address the mass suffering and the impoverishment experience. Though sources in the NLC leadership told Vanguard that the strike will go ahead despite yesterday's scheduled meeting with the Minister of Labour and Employment. Simon Lalong, it was gathered that a media briefing by the minister allegedly castigating Labour leaders ahead of the meeting forced NLC leaders to shun the meeting that would have been held at the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment Federal Secretariat.
What's the essence of holding meetings? When after the meetings there's also going to yield.
That's why they said they don't want to even
hold any
meeting. There's no meeting to be held. So they should just go on that strike. Even if federal government should come in and you know add a meeting with them, they will still bribe them. It's still, and we don't want bribe again in Nigeria, I beg. Let them do the necessity. Instead of you collecting bribe as the head of the NLC. I think Lalong is trying to do something that we Nigerians we want now. Because if you collect any bribe, if we catch you, it's wahala. We are going to drag you till you confess. So, but he's now telling us that after these 2 days warning strike, they are going on 21 days indefinite strike, and we are going to appreciate that. The minister was said to have threatened the NLC leaders at his briefing for closing any chance that NLC will honor the meeting. One of the visibly angry NLC leaders told Vanguard that the minister's alleged outburst a few hours before the scheduled meeting put the final nail to NLC's resolve to proceed with the strike as resolved by members of its National Executive Council, NEC, last Friday. Where are we going in this country? That is the question.
We are where we are in this country.
Nigeria is not moving forward. No, we are even regressing. We are going backward. Yes, because if you check yesterday,
we are retrogressing. Let me just say that we are still underdeveloped. We are not developing at all.
But do you know in Africa we are part of one of the most developing countries in Africa, because Nigeria is just like Lagos to other African countries. I'm telling you, we are the one. We stay in
Nigeria.
We citizens of Nigeria are the only ones that know that this country is hard. But you see people staying in other countries like Chad, Lake Chad, Niger, and if they should have opportunity to come to Nigeria, it would be like a Nigerian going to USA. You understand? So Nigeria is a very good country. It's just for our government to do the necessity. They should do what they are supposed to do as the government. You understand? Because we voted them in. And they should be able to deliver.
And for them to be voted in, we want them to address the key issues that is affecting Nigeria.
That is just the truth. That's what we are waiting for. That's what we are saying. Then the next one here is about judiciary shouldn't determine election winners, but they judge. Well, but the judge is making sense here. Yeah. Because if you check the judiciary, they've been doing mago. Because they don't even know what they are doing. Because if the judiciary are still in the process of, or let's say they are still giving the order to do this. A lot of things.
The thing is that how does it even concern them? Because their own business is to interpret law. So why isn't that they will be the ones to determine or decide the winner of an election?
That is the reason why I've said it. Our constitution needs to be amended.
Seriously, it needs to be reviewed and amended.
Not even amended. We need to burn the constitution and rewrite another one.
Who is going to rewrite another one?
I mean, Nigerians.
There will still be mago there.
Even if they, at least they will try and put it out before they stamp it. There will be adjustment. People will try to review.
And that's how they will keep adjusting it.
At least if they should cancel the old ones. Let us create another one. Because which one is all this one that people will just imagine. All these people that were all these officials in the government officials in the House of Rep, House of Assembly, if they go for any sitting, this is how they will just be looking, sleeping. If it is written in the constitution that if you sleep at any sitting, they will deduct some amount of money from your allowance.
Yeah, they will caution themselves.
You understand? They will know the reason why they are there. Not like them going there and just looking like moron, not saying anything. Anything they do, any motion they bring in like this, you just see them, we support the motion. We support the motion because every one of them, they are just after extorting money, embezzlement. Well, former Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olabode George, has raised concern over the role of the judiciary in determining election winners in Nigeria. This is as he advised the judiciary against taking away the right of the people to determine poll winners. He raised the concern at a press briefing held in his office in Okoyi on Monday following the announcement by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja that it would deliver its judgment on Wednesday. The tribunal, in a statement on Monday, announced it would on Wednesday deliver judgment on the petitions challenging the declaration of Bola Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. But you know, this past presidential election, people were actually dragging Tinubu, let's say the likes of Atiku and Peter Obi.
Yeah.
I want to ask, why is it that Kwakwanso is left out of this dragging?
You know, let me just say, it doesn't meet the target at all. Like, the race was between Tinubu and Atiku self. But because, you know, youth came out to vote for Peter Obi, so that was why it was also challenging the process of the election. But
no matter how they try to draft Tinubu knows his way.
Yeah, he knows his way.
He has been the president for months now. And although there is hardship, there is everything. But what if it was Atiku that emerged as president? Do you think this kind of thing will not happen? Sure,
they would have dragged him as well.
Because almost every one of them preached about subsidy removal when they were campaigning. And so, as to tell us that even if they emerge as Nigerian president, they are going to remove the subsidy too. It may even get worse than this. But one thing I don't like about our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you promised that after removing the subsidy, you would do something, you know, to compensate and to make it easy for Nigerians, right? To make this country easy for us to live. We did not see any changes. Even the palliatives that you spent so much money on, it's not been disbursed as it is supposed to be. So I'm urging the federal government, the president himself, to see more to this judiciary of a thing. Because even the president did not have a say in this. Let's just wait for tribunal tomorrow to see what will come out of.
And if they want to probe anybody, it should be high neck. Because I see no reason why they would be the one to announce a result that is not favorable to the Nigerians. So they should have done their this thing. They should have collected their data right. Not that they would just decide that this is the winner. Meanwhile, everybody knew that this thing is not being they were not being transparent.
Yes, I think that is using machine that has expired. They are using expiring machine. Voila. But speaking at the briefing, Judge questioned why the judiciary had been making pronouncements to determine election winners rather than order INEC to reconduct the elections to aid the emergence of real winners, he said. Our country has been doing very little positively and very much negatively. In the last few days, I have been thinking as a former military officer and as a civilian since I have served 5 presidents. Our electoral process is shambolic, nonsensical, and make the country nosediving. It is the manipulation of the system. A glitch of the day of the election is unforgivable, but the INEC chairman told us they were ready, but with what happened, generations to come will never forgive him. Because everybody see what happened. Everybody saw what happened during election.
It was glaring to everybody.
In Lagos State, Labour Party emerged as winner. And people were questioning themselves, like, how come? Tinubu came from Lagos State, but Labour Party won. So that means the Lagos election was transparent enough.
Yeah.
Are you getting it now? Although they tried to manipulate things there, they tried to do mago, but it didn't work out because youth were really outside to see what is going on with the election. But in the likes of River State, which was
Wiki.
You understand?
Yeah.
People
and
said
Oyo State, the vote was all given to President Bola Tinubu.
So it was glaring that they really work for the president.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know the reason why they could not bring out anything from this state. There is nothing to write about those.
When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to office, I was expecting, when he was sacking and suspending people, I was expecting him to have suspended the INEC chairman also. But he could not even do that. Because he knows what he has done for him.
I'm telling you.
To be in that position where he is now. But so this country, it is only God that will just save us.
Everything is good for that reason. You cannot do anything without without something from the top.
Yeah.
The most contentious issue in Nigeria today is the judiciary. It is one of the pillars of government. Is it right for the judiciary to tell us who won or lost the election? What we understand by democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But in our own case, it shouldn't be government of the judiciary, by the judiciary, and for the judiciary.
They changed the definition of democracy.
I said it. Is that democratic? That is what the question, but the judge is asking. It is the will of the people that should prevail. if you discover any wrong, ask them to go back and conduct a fresh election, even if it takes 100 times. The job of the judiciary is not to tell us who lost or won election.
I think we need viewers at home also to contribute their opinions pertaining to this particular statement. Is it the judiciary that will determine or decide who won or lost the election?
Well, I think even without they telling us who won the election, everybody knows. But there was a game that was being played by the winner of the election, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He played a game, and I think the game really influenced the winning of his own part. By him telling Kwakwanso to contest from the north. And that's why you see Kwakwanso going to Aso Rock to greet him these days. Because I think they have a good rapport. And it has been Tinubu, because from the correspondent, from what we heard, they said Tinubu was the one that told Kwakwanso to run for election under the NNPP party, so as to disturb votes of Atiku. And you see, if Atiku and Peter Obi, if they had worked together, Peter Obi was in PDP before he moved to Labour Party. You understand? So if he had worked with Atiku, they should have come together with numbers of good numbers of votes to win APC. But APC emerged as the winner, but was being pronounced by the judiciary. And that is what Bode George was trying to say. The definition of democracy has been changed by Nigeria because it is now the government of the judiciary, by the judiciary and for the judiciary.
Not for the people again.
All right, let's move on. The next one we are going to talk about is Obasanjo. Sanusi says how Buhari mismanaged Nigeria's economy in 8 years.
Wow.
But Buhari now said it yesterday that he saved Nigeria from corruption. Well, and before I read the news yesterday, I was just laughing that what is this man saying? Well, a former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and a former emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi, have hinted that former President Muhammadu Buhari destroyed the Nigerian economy in the 8 years that he administered the country. Speaking in an interview with the Cable, Obasanjo said, Tinubu said the other day that it was unacceptable that he would spend 90% of revenue to service debts. I wasn't spending 90% when I went worldwide to get debt relief. Do you think anybody will give you debt relief today? That's a good question from Obasanjo though. Because if Obasanjo did not ask this question, if he asked this question, he has an experience before asking this kind of question from Tinubu. So I think Nigeria has enough money to spend instead of going out to ask for for money. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. Like the amount of money we are borrowing is too much. Even the ones Buhari borrowed before he left the seat, we never complete giving it back to the people who borrow it from. Now you want to borrow money again. Is it a must for Nigerians to borrow? To borrow money. Out of the trillions that was being made from the subsidy removal, we never see anything they've used the money to do.
They are going to channel down to another aspect.
Where are they challenging?
It will be known to Nigerians soon. But for now, they are still, they just stay pending.
I was talking about them scrapping NYSC. And someone was dragging me. It is part of it. If you should know the amount of money they are disbursing on the budget of NYSC in a year or more. So I said it, even if they are going to continue the NYSC program, then it should be that every corps member that is receiving allowances from federal government, they should not stop it until they get to one certain age. Because what is the essence of you giving them money? By 1 year, after the 1 year, you will leave them to go back on the street without no job. At least you are giving them job. As a corps member, when they were serving the country, they are going to one PP or the other. You understand? Yes. So, and they are earning money. So why can't you just leave all of them there?
To me, let me just say, it's just a waste of time. Like going to that camp and also a year service. Like instead of that, there should be a standard job for all these graduates. That once you are done in your school, just go for this job. There should be a standard job for them, so that they'll be able to make their ends meet also. Or
better still, they should create a budget that every graduate is entitled to so amount. Then once the amount is disbursed,
and this monthly allowance of 18, they should just calculate it. They should sum it up and just give them once.
So everybody can start up their business.
Themselves.
Ah, God.
Seriously.
I say we need to, there are a lot of things that they need to amend in this government thing. So that's why I said they should change constitution. This they should change the definition of democracy, because we are not practicing democracy again in Nigeria. What we are practicing now is just self-government. The judiciary should leave the position of proclaiming that they are the ones to be able to decide who is the winner of an election, or announcing different things in Nigeria. Right? But the judge is making sense. And now Obasanjo is now speaking that Buhari really spoiled Nigerian economy, and it has been clear to every one of us, and we are seeing it. Because if you check the amount of dollar when Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, the rate of dollar to naira is is still severe. Like it's not that severe, it's still manageable. Are you getting? But when Buhari came to be our president, hey,
everything got out of hand.
We started facing shege.
Everything was controlled.
We don't want to face Bansa, and that's why we are urging our president.
We don't want to face Shege Pro Max.
But let's see the outcome of tomorrow's tribunal this thing. So then let's see what will come out of tomorrow's, so that we can know what we Nigerians are expecting from the new government.
So that we can know what our hope is based on. Is it baseless, or it is based on something tangible? Like
we can know where we are going to in this country. All right, this is where we are going to be ending the show today on News Review. Don't forget that the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Abbas. And don't forget to take your own, because it's still fresh week, and we are still going to engage you on another edition of News Review tomorrow. I still remember my humble self, Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. Thank you so much, Toyo.
I remain Toyosi additional. Bye.
Thank you. So take care of yourself, as we say bye for now.